December 2nd, 2010, a date that should have been football's greatest celebration. Instead, it became the beginning of its darkest chapter. On this day, FIFA President Sepp Blatter opened an envelope and announced that the tiny desert nation of Qatar, a country smaller than Connecticut, with no football history, and summer temperatures reaching 50 degrees Celsius, would host the 2022 World Cup. To host the World Cup, Qatar needed stadiums. 7 of them. State-of-the-art, air-conditioned monuments to football. But Qatar had a problem. It's a nation of just 300,000 citizens. It didn't have the workforce to build these mega projects. So it imported one. Between 2010 and 2022, nearly 2 million migrant workers, mostly from India, Pakistan, Nepal, and Bangladesh, flooded into Qatar. They were promised decent salaries and safe working conditions. What they found was something closer to slavery. Under Qatar's Kafala sponsorship system, workers' immigration status was completely controlled by their employers. Their passports were confiscated upon arrival. They couldn't change jobs or leave the country without permission. If they complained, they could be deported, or worse. Workers toiled for 12 to 14 hours in punishing heat, with temperatures regularly exceeding 40 degrees Celsius. They were routinely denied water breaks. They lived in squalid labor camps, denied routine medical care, and faced malnutrition. Prem, another worker on the Khalifa Stadium, described his reality. "My family is now homeless and 2 of my younger children have been taken out of school. Every day I am in tension. I cannot sleep at night. This is a torture for me." Here's where the numbers get horrifying. Tournament organizers initially placed the official death toll at 40. 40 workers died building the World Cup. That was the story they wanted you to believe. But in 2021, The Guardian published an investigation. Their finding: at least 6,500 migrant workers had died in Qatar between 2010 and 2021. Let that sink in. 6,500 human beings. That's more than the entire population of some small towns. When pressed, World Cup chief Hassan Al-Thawadi admitted the real figure was closer to 400 to 500, still 10 times the original number. Human rights groups suspect the actual death toll is in the thousands. Many deaths were attributed to natural causes or cardiac failure, convenient labels that prevented families from seeking compensation. Here's the statistic that should haunt every football fan. Each minute of football played at the 2022 World Cup equated to the loss of 1 human life. You'd think this would have sparked global outrage. Boycotts, player protests, fans refusing to watch. Instead, something else happened. The fans. In the weeks leading up to the tournament, fans were more concerned about 2 things: how the winter schedule would affect their domestic leagues, and whether they could drink beer in a Muslim country. The death of 6,500 workers barely registered. A BBC poll even declared Qatar 2022 the best World Cup of the century. Celebrities were reportedly paid astronomical sums to attend and post about the event, whitewashing Qatar's human rights record. Their Instagram feed showed luxury hotels and thrilling matches, not labor camps or grieving families. Then, days before kickoff, FIFA President Gianni Infantino delivered a press conference that stunned the world. Standing at a podium, he exploded at Western critics. "I'm European. For what we Europeans have been doing around the world in the last 3,000 years, we should be apologizing for the next 3,000 years before starting to give moral lessons to people. Don't criticize Qatar. Let people enjoy this World Cup." The speech was so tone-deaf, so dismissive of 6,500 dead workers, that even human rights groups were left speechless. Amnesty International responded. In brushing aside legitimate human rights criticisms, Gianni Infantino is dismissing the enormous price paid by migrant workers to make his flagship tournament possible. A coalition of human rights organizations launched the hashtag #PayUpFIFA campaign, demanding FIFA and Qatar create a $440 million fund, equal to the tournament's prize money, to compensate the families of dead and abused workers. Qatar's labor minister rejected it, calling it a publicity stunt and accusing critics of racism. The real question: so why did the world accept this? Why do we hold celebrities to high moral standards but give football a pass? The answer lies in something called sports washing, the use of sporting events to clean a nation's reputation. Nations with appalling human rights records buy the world's attention by hosting mega events, betting that the joy of football will outweigh the memory of graves. And historically, they've been right. Qatar is now a candidate to host the 2036 Olympics. If history repeats itself, thousands more workers will die building stadiums for the world to cheer. But here's the question this video leaves you with: will we let it happen again? The workers who died building Qatar 2022 didn't get a choice. They didn't get luxury suites or highlight reels. They got graves in a foreign country while the world watched football. Their names? You'll never know them. But you'll remember the goals, the drama, the champions. And that, right there, that's the dark side of the World Cup.